Hello, young or old here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my observations of going to places like Hall Park, Huggies, and basically it's about the bikes as more mature stroke older riders choose to ride. My opinions are based on just what I've noticed on a day-to-day basis, but personal circumstances will have an effect on the bikes we choose, like the rider's size, agility, do they carry a pillion, and do they tour on their bike? Stay tuned, watch the intro. Let's first look at the classic or retro style of bike. A lot of the guys who turn up at these meets I go to, they tend to ride classics from their era. If that was myself, my choices would be the Kawasaki Z1900 or the Suzuki GT750. You'll have to stump up a fair bit of cash to buy a mint one, unless you have some mechanical skills and patience to restore and maintain it. I see a lot of the old Triumphs there. Some of them are in remarkable condition for their age. It appears that a lot of these bikers, this was the bike they dreamed of in their youth, and most likely they probably didn't have a full license to ride them, or just simply couldn't afford them on a youth's wages back then. There seems to be a lot of the newer Triumphs that are owned by mature riders. I see loads of them at these meets, but then again Triumph is a local company, so there's probably a little bit of favouritism to a local firm. But it's ideal if you want a British brand, and they're a lot cheaper than the likes of Norton. The Triumph Bobber is a good example how a modern bike can be produced to look like it's from the past. I like the look of the Kawasaki Z900R, as it's a modern version of the original. There's been a massive worldwide increase in the sale of Royal Enfields, and here again you're getting a retro style bike with some modern day tech, and all for a reasonable price. So you do tend to see loads of them at the classic meets. The next category I look at is the cruiser, with of course the main one being the Harley Davidson. They always seem to be popular with the more mature riders, as no doubt they're comfortable and of course, very iconic bike. There are many other makes of cruisers available now. The Japanese make some very good Harley lookalikes. As you may know, I love touring. My wife enjoys it also, so a touring bike where she can get the amount of clothes she thinks she needs, and she takes and never wears, but at the end of the day she has to fit them all in the panniers. So a 3K system is something that I need. Add to the fact I'm not a small chap, I'm 6'2" and a few stone too heavy, so I need a bike that is comfy and gives us the ability to go the distance we need to travel. Popular touring bikes like the Honda Goldwing, that is a beast of a bike. It's very heavy, but with reverse gear, and actually some have a forward gear that just creeps slowly along, so it makes it very movable. Sticking with Honda, there's a Pan-European. Although no longer made, it's still a cracking bike for touring on. And of course, my old favourite, the CBR 1100 Super Blackbird, if you can find a good one. Recently, they've added the NT 1100 to their range, which is okay, but it just needs to lose that chain and have a shaft drive instead. BMW make a few good tourers, from the massive K1600 to the R1200 and 1250 RT. Both are dedicated touring bikes and built to do the job they were meant to. They also have the GS range, which is an adventure bike that is used for touring, but you've got the capability of doing a bit of off-roading as well. But here again, a very popular bike. The RS range will tour nicely, but they're a bit smaller in size and more cramped than the others. They would be no good for me unless I was touring, without a pillion. The Yamaha FJR 1300 is another very capable touring machine, along the lines of the Pan-European and my Kawasaki GTR 1400. I don't tend to see many mature or older guys riding out and out sports bikes like the Ducati Panigale, the Kawasaki ZX-10, etc. Maybe because they don't fit on it or in it, plus the fact most of us would probably end up walking like Quasimodo when we finally get someone to help us get off it. I do see a few more mature guys riding R6s and R1s, but you know, if you're a little bit shorter and slimmer than me, as most of them are, but maybe it was their dream bike when they were popular and now they can have one. The same applies to the Laverda Jota and the Aprilia Miele. For those with enough spare cash and some mechanical knowledge, I see a few of the old Norton Cup racers. Now I have to admit, I do like the look of them, even though I'm not built for them. But yet again, most probably it would only come out on a nice day to go to the designated bike meet. Falling off any bike is bad, but even to drop something like that, you know, where it's going to be hard to get spare parts, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So perhaps that's why they never seem to come out that much in the wet. They are a nice sunny day toy. Another style I seem to see a lot of now is the motorbike and sidecar combo. And again, they're all sort of older classic styles. Ideal if your wife or partner don't like going pillion. I must admit, my wife would love me to have one because she could just sit there in comfort and, well, she'd love that, but that ain't going to happen soon. I did know a guy once who actually had a motorbike and sidecar because when he stopped on the bike, he couldn't get his legs to the floor quick enough. He said to me, I can't and I won't stop riding, despite what all my family say. They were all very against it. He used to keep his crutches in the sidecar, so you know what, total respect to him. I think for this reason trikes are still popular, as well as the Can-Am. In fact, one of our touring group rides a Can-Am, and it is an absolute beast of a machine. He has no problems keeping up with anything. And even my wife wouldn't be able to fill the massive amount of storage he's got available on it. So let's look at the bigger picture. It does not matter one bit what we ride, be it a moped or a big CC bike. The fact is, we're still riding. I recently did a taster session for a guy who's just about to retire, and him and his wife have got a decent car, but she's going to continue using the car for work, so he just wants a bike which he can, you know, pop to the shops, nip out for a ride, or just go and see his mates. So he's just interested in a Rev and Go 125cc, something that looks a bit retro. So it just doesn't matter if you just want to commute on your bike, nip out on it, or do like my mates and I do. You know, we go to bike meets, we have days out and touring holidays. The most important thing is that we are living our own individual dream and making the most of our bikes. So that's just my opinion and what I've seen of what sort of bikes mature riders are riding. But at the end of the day, you can ride anything. Just make sure that it's comfortable for you. You can handle it, that's you know, most important. And you buy the bike for the reasons you want to use it for. Anyway, I hope this has been of interest to you. If it has, please do the tips. And as always, take care, ride safe, and bye for now.